got done doing the Carabella Caliente video, and I thought I'd give you a shout, see if you're available to give us a rundown on this beautiful CZ.
Yeah. I'm driving right now, but I'm pulling up to my job. So let me just pull in and park, and then I can talk to you with the AC on.
Perfect. So you want to do the intro now, Kenny? How long till you're ready? I'm gonna do the intro.
I'm about 150 yards away from the driveway.
Okay, perfect. All right. What year is this CZ? It's 72? 73. Okay, awesome. Is there a particular model, or is it just CZ 250?
Just a CZ 250 MX.
Okay, awesome. All right, stay tuned. Give me 3, 2, 1, Kenny. 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Ken Kaplan here from the New England Motorcycle Museum. Today is an awesome day. I've got my Red Bull Day in the Dirt Motocross Grand Prix shirt with the Troy Lee Designs logo on here, and I'm ready to rip it on this 1973 CZ 250. This bike was owned by Jay Wilson, and he had 16 classic motocross bikes, all museum quality pieces that he wanted to resell, so we bought them all, and this one's going up for grabs, and this was a really special piece. I've got Jay on the line here with me. I'm going to have him give you a full, accurate pre-owner's rundown on this bike. I thought it was restored. In fact, it's not. This is an original engine, original transmission. Everything's very, very low hours on this. Without getting too far into it, Jay, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, this is Jay Wilson, two-time AHMRA national champion. His daughter, Reagan, did I say her name right? Raven actually won 2 championships also in the women's class, so they've got 4 national championships to their family credit. Jay's a real expert on vintage motocross bikes, so I'm going to let him give you the rundown on this bike. So take it away, Jay. Tell us a little about this classic CZ.
It's a 1973. It's the white tanker. At least that's what's supposed to be on the bike.
Yep.
I bought it from a friend of mine who raced ARMA, North Atlantic and up and down the East Coast. He raced it a couple years, but he was he was a good intermediate rider, but not like an overly aggressive rider. So he wasn't hard on bikes. I liked the way he rode. He didn't abuse bikes at all, and he took good care of them. And I thought to myself, if I ever buy a bike, if I ever want a CZ, I'm going to see if I can get one from him, because all his bikes were always meticulously maintained, and when he brought them to the track, they were just gorgeous. And they never broke down or anything. You never saw him pushing them back. He started the day and finished the day every time. So anyway, long story short, he broke both of his wrists at a track in North Carolina, and I think I called him up 2 weeks later or something like that, just to check on him, see how he's doing. And I think he made a comment that he's done, and he meant done racing.
Yep.
His work just wouldn't put up with any more injuries, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
And I talked him into selling me that bike, and I bought it, and I didn't really have to do anything to the motor. Now, I really never raced it. I brought it home. I rode it, in my yard and stuff. Never took it to a track. Kind of similar to that Caliente we just talked about. I brought it home with the intentions of restoring it, because no CZ MX motocross collection is complete without a CZ. And at the time, I didn't have one. So, I've got his, and then I decided to, kind of do like a mild restoration on it. Bought a super nice, almost like new gas tank from Alan Brown up in, he owns Northwest CZ Mako. I put new front and rear fenders on it. I painted the frame. It's not the greatest paint job, but it looks good.
So is the tank a brand new NOS tank? Is that what that is?
I think so. I think it's a new NOS tank. I think so. I mean,
it looks brand new, like the rubber's on the side, the tank badge, the paint, inside and out.
I don't think it was ever on a bike.
It's got a really unique aluminum centerpiece with a really cool gas cap. Probably one of the nicest gas tanks I've ever seen on a dirt bike.
Yeah, most of the guys take that off. Take that if in fact they can have a bike that has that tank on it, they take them off and they put those replica plastic coffin tanks on there to race.
Even the petcocks look brand new on it.
Yeah. I mean, everything, I mean, I just did it up, new number plates and stuff like that, handlebars, cables, the typical tires.
Tires changed. Looks like it did change
just
too.
typical. And that was a pretty easy restoration. It wasn't. It didn't take long at all to do that one.
In fact, when I asked you about it, it's like I think you said it really didn't need a restoration. It was a very low-hour bike to begin with, right?
It really didn't have a lot on it. Now, I've never taken the engine apart. I knew it ran perfect, so I just left it alone. I mean, I'm not going to fix anything that's not broke, so I left it alone. And I don't know if he's bored out the cylinder to first over or second over, or if it's still got the standard piston in it. I don't know.
What we do know is that it's one of the nicest sounding vintage 250s we've ever heard. This thing is just barks. It sounds so crisp.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, why would you tear a bike apart like that? It's perfectly mechanically sound. It's like, I never, unless there's a problem, I'm not going to fix it.
Obviously a very low hour bike. I see you put a beautiful set of progressive shocks on there. Those are high end.
Yeah.
And is the seat brand new on it too?
No, it's just a nice seat.
It's beautiful. It has a really cool cowling that goes around the side of it. Very, very unique.
Yeah, that's typical CZ. It has that little skirt that goes around.
Very nice piece. And I think you were telling me some things in your history of HMRA about their reliability. I didn't know these were considered one of the most reliable vintage bikes.
Yeah, Czechoslovakia, man. Czechoslovakian metal. You can't break them,
You had mentioned when I was at your house that this is the bike that if guys couldn't afford to race, this is the bike they'd buy because they very rarely need repairs. You'd say they're pretty much bulletproof.
Yeah, I wouldn't say couldn't afford to race, but if they couldn't afford to pour money into a bike, race after race, that's the bike to have. If they want to get through, if they don't like working on bikes, and there's a lot of guys that love to race but don't like working on them, this is a bike to have. If you want a bike that you're going to start the day off and finish the day, that's the bike to have. It's just a good, solid, fast, reliable, bulletproof piece of machinery. It's a beautiful. It's the best bike for the guy that wants to get through a season and not have to deal with taking it to the shop after each race. You do a little bit of just preventative maintenance, change the gear oil, clean your filters, clean your carburetor, change the plugs, change out the chain every once in a while, just typical PM maintenance, and the bike will reward you in the long run.
For a guy who's looking to get into AHMRA racing, this would be a fantastic candidate with the upgraded suspension, new tires and shocks, and very low hour bike. I hate to see someone do it. It's almost too nice. It really is a museum piece, but with the NOS gas tank, I mean, that tank's pretty much priceless. Where are you going to find one? And the fenders, these are the original style fenders. Where'd you get the fenders from?
They're aftermarket fenders.
They look like the originals, but are they?
They're original duplicate replicas.
Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, beautiful piece.
They're not original. They're aftermarket. You got several. I think DC Plastics is one of the biggest fender replica places out there. I mean, they pretty much can get you any fender for any bike, that's out there. And what they are is they look exactly like the originals, but they're state-of-the-art, done now.
Jay,
the same specs that they were back in '73.
Very cool. The chain guide, describe what's up with that. Is that a factory original? It's a beautiful looking aluminum piece drilled out, and it's used as the kickstand holder now.
I'm in my truck right now, so I don't. The chain guide. Oh God, I'm trying to remember.
It has an aluminum drilled chain guide, beautiful piece. I don't know if that's an aftermarket item or original, but it looks really nice.
I'd have to pretty much look at the pics, when I get home and get back to you on that. I can't really comment on that because, like I said, I'm in my truck right now.
So this is a traditional left side shift, unlike some of the earlier models that vintage bikes. It's a left side shift. What is it? What's a shift pattern on it? Is it
1 down, 4 up?
Same as pretty much any modern bike, right?
Yeah, pretty much the same as any modern bike. There's a little trick to shifting those things though. You got to almost like when you upshift, you got to lift your foot off the peg.
Okay.
Get it up into gear, yeah, but it shifts great. I mean, once you learn that little CZ trick, you'll never miss a gear. It's just it just got a big throw lever on it, like big space lever. But it's you get used to it, especially when you're wearing boots and stuff like that. It's almost like nice to have.
No doubt. Jay, the exhaust system on this, it sounds incredible. I was out on the Hodaka 125. You might have caught that video. And Kyle, one of the guys who runs our restoration shop, he
pulled right up next to you on it.
He pulled up, and it just barks. It sounds so sweet going down the road. Is that the stock exhaust system on this bike? It just sounds so authoritative.
I'm pretty sure it is. Man, I'm pretty sure.
What a crisp sound and peace. Yeah,
it's just a nice bike. It'd be a great bike for somebody that wants to race, or if they want to put it in their museum. I'd recommend maybe redo my frame paint on it. And if you really want it to be a super museum quality, because I did a quick kind of
Well, the tank and
low budget frame paint job on it, but
actually the guys went through and touched up. I think they painted the whole frame here. So.
Okay, never mind. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it went through our detail shop, and they put a high-quality paint on there.
Well, good. There you go. Well, let me know next time. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we went right through the detail shop. Doc, who is we call him Doc, he has a PhD in detailing. He went through the whole thing, polished all the aluminum, cleaned up the rims, and painted the frame. And it's not a automotive quality paint job, but it looks super nice.
Okay, good. Well, then it could be a museum piece, or it can, be somebody's next race bike at the next vintage national.
It's absolutely ready to roll into the museum. Matter of fact, it's going into the center of the museum as a centerpiece here until it's sold, or hopefully a benefactor will buy it and leave it here. But thank you for documenting the history of this. Super grateful, Jay. Always a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for hooking us up with this kick-ass collection of vintage iron here.
You're quite welcome.
And we'll be back to you soon, and thanks for all your support and for being a benefactor of the museum. Very, very grateful.
No problem. Anytime.
Take care, Jay. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So there you have it, folks. Two-time AHMRA national champion, and it's no joke. Those guys, to win a national championship, they travel all over the country. It's 12 rounds, 24 motos. They're from West Coast, East Coast, or everywhere. It's a lot of money to win a championship, and he won 4. His daughter won 2, and he won 2. So without further ado, let's focus on this beautiful piece of iron and take it for a little rip. Best part of my job. Kenny, you want to ride it in the video? All right, he's been kind of miserable today, so let him ride this thing. Maybe he won't be so damn grumpy. But and I'm getting old. My back hurts. Let him ride it. All right, stay tuned. Guys, there you have it from Jay Wilson, the original owner or previous owner of this bike. One of the things that really caught my eye about it is the gas tank on it, the angular lines of the gas tank, and the fact that it's an NOS brand new tank. It's just beautiful. The side panel on it, the badge, the aluminum centerpiece, the gas cap, just a striking machine. The second thing, other than the looks, is how it sounds and runs. Just unbelievable. I had no idea that CZs ran this good or sounded this badass. So stay tuned. We're about to fire it up and take it for a rip. Hold the mic. I got a mic. bikes were this good in 1972 or 73. You know, I had a little flashback thinking about Heikki Makola or Roger DeCoster or Rex Staton riding these bikes back in the day. Those guys used to rip. Probably putting down somewhere in the mid 30 horsepower at the rear wheel with a decent set of shocks and low center of gravity. On the right track, these things can haul the mail, and in the woods too. So just a fun bike. It feels rock solid. Feels like a brand new bike. And back to what Jay had said, this is not a bike that had a full restoration. It's original. It's a low hour original owned by a guy that really cared for his bikes, and that's why Jay wanted to buy it, because of the originality and the fact he knew the history of it. Just a fantastic machine. Front to back, the rear end, front end, everything. Brand new shocks on it. The forks are nice. This is a bike, as I was riding, I was thinking, this would be fun to rip around Southwick in practice when the track is still nice and smooth. Just sending it around the corners would just be an absolute hoot. If you're looking for an AHMRA or a local sanctioned motocross race bike or a woods race bike, you can't do better than this. Buy this bike for sure. Highly recommended. Kaplan America approved. I only say that about the best of the best. This is the best of the best. Fantastic running bike. Like I said, this is our first CZ that we've had through that was in running condition. Most of them were parts bikes or in need of full restoration. This one's in mint shape. Museum quality, NOS tank, new plastic, new tires. Jay went right through the bike top to bottom. Doc repainted the frame in-house. It wasn't a complete dismantle, just touched up, painted the frame. New progressive shocks. Just a stunning machine. Brand new chain on it. Nice aluminum work on it. Just a fantastic piece. So all the proceeds from the sale of the bike are going to the New England Motorcycle Museum. Jay wanted the whole collection sold at once, so he gave us a great deal on it. Part of the collection was donated, and all the funds are going to the museum. If you'd like to leave it here on display, we'd love to have it here. Give us a call, 860-454-7024. Kenny, you want to wrap it up?
We can ship the bike inexpensively. Contact us your location or your zip code for a quote. Other than that, call with any questions. We offer financing on classic CZs. Call us at 860-454-7024. Ask to speak with Ken Jr. or Cody.
Good luck bidding on it. God bless Czechoslovakia for making kick-ass bikes like this. And as always, God bless America.